Hello, I'm Peggy Hall, and in this video, we're going to discuss your business startup needs and how to start off organized. So, you want to be a food business. You've probably already begun developing your food business idea, and you may already know how to create your product safely and successfully. You certainly need to know your food product, but what about the business part of being a food business? How do you actually start your business? What steps should you take to organize and protect your business before you begin selling your food product? These are important questions, and we're here to help answer them for you. This module focuses on 4 important steps you can take to address your business needs and start off organized. The first step is to choose your business entity. And the second is to complete legal startup requirements. You'll also need to insure your business and assess all license and permit needs. Following these 4 steps will have you on your way to being organized and prepared for business. Let's talk more about the first 2 steps in this video. First, you'll need to choose your business entity type. This is a decision best made in consultation with your attorney and accountant, as there are liability and financial implications from your entity choice. Your professional advisors can review these implications as they relate to your personal situation. There are several types of business entities that you may want to discuss with your advisors as you make your decision. But the 2 types of entities most common to food businesses are the limited liability company, or LLC, and the sole proprietorship. A question I frequently receive is, should I be an LLC? That's because the LLC has become a popular entity of choice for all types of businesses due to the personal liability protection, tax flexibility, and ease of operation it offers. But an LLC doesn't limit all liability, as the name suggests. Instead, it protects an LLC owner's personal assets from the liability of the business. The liability protection is not absolute, as there can be legal ways to go after your personal assets, especially if the LLC owner is at fault. Under normal circumstances, though, your personal assets that are not a part of your LLC, such as your home, your car, financial accounts, those would not be subject to the liabilities of your LLC food business. So, if you have personal assets that you want to protect, an LLC could be a good entity choice for you. But keep in mind that the best liability protection is insurance for your business, and don't just choose an LLC as a substitute for good insurance coverage. Or maybe you want to consider operating your food business as a sole proprietor rather than an LLC. In a sole proprietorship, you and your business are one and the same legally. There is no separation between the two, which means that you and your personal assets are all subject to the liabilities of the business. This is the least formal option available, as you don't have to take any formal steps to be legally recognized by the Secretary of State as a sole proprietor. As you can see, business entity selection is an important decision. I encourage you to read the additional resources we provide with more information about the types of business entities, and your professional advisors can help you choose the best entity for your particular situation. Once you've chosen the type of business entity for your food business, you need to complete your legal startup requirements. There are multiple steps involved, and again, working with your attorney and an accountant can help you through the process. First, you may need to choose and register a name for your business. This step isn't necessary if you plan to operate as a sole proprietor and use your personal name for the business. But if you want to be an LLC, you'll need to ensure that the name is available and is distinguishable on the records from other registered businesses. The Secretary of State must review and approve your name through the LLC registration process that we'll discuss next. And any type of business entity can also use a trade name or a fictitious name that differs from either the sole proprietor's name or the registered LLC name. These types of names must be registered with the Ohio Secretary of State. You can search the Ohio Secretary of State's website for names that are already registered and not available for your use. For additional help understanding and choosing a business name, see the Guide to Name Availability on the Secretary of State's website. The second step, only for LLCs or other formal entities like corporations, is to register with the Ohio Secretary of State. An LLC registers by filing the Articles of Organization form available from the Secretary of State. This form requires the name of the business, its address, and the appointment of a person who will serve as a statutory agent who receives legal notices for the business. And there is a filing fee for filing the LLC registration. Step 3 is to obtain a federal employer identification number, or an EIN. This is your business identification for tax purposes, and you can easily apply for it online with the Internal Revenue Service. There is no cost for filing this form with the IRS, but make sure you use the official IRS website. Other websites will pop up if you do a general search for an EIN form, but don't use those because they will charge you a fee for providing the form or filing it for you. The next step is to establish a bank account and records for your business. Nearly all banks require your employer identification number to open a new business account, so make sure you have your EIN. This is also a good time to focus on establishing your separate financial and tax records for your new food business. Some of you will need an Ohio vendor's license, which is the next startup step. A vendor's license is used for sales tax collection and payments made to the Ohio Department of Taxation. You'll need this license if you will be collecting sales tax. But note that there is no sales tax on food that will be consumed by humans off the premises where sold. So you'll only need a vendor's license if you will either sell food to be consumed on your site or if you will be selling any non-food items. The vendor's license registration is simple. You can apply for it online and pay the sales taxes online also. There is also a registration fee for this license. Step 6 requires you to identify your employer responsibilities, which can include reporting new hires, withholding income taxes, Social Security taxes, and self-employment taxes, and also paying into Ohio's workers' compensation system. These laws apply not only to employees, but also to you as an employee of your business. For those of you accustomed to laws and exemptions that apply to farm labor and agricultural labor, be aware that your employer responsibilities for a food business will likely differ. Professional assistance is extremely valuable, and we advise working with an attorney, accountant, or a payroll services professional to ensure proper handling of your employer responsibilities. We've completed the first 2 business startup steps, choosing your business entity and completing legal startup requirements. Remember, depending on the type of business entity that you choose in step 1, you may not need to complete each of the 6 legal startup requirements in step 2. Thank you for watching this video, and in our next session, we'll discuss step 3, insuring your business, and step 4, assessing other license and permit needs, so you can start off organized in developing your food business.